Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Fortune Tellers Wrestling Podcast Experience. I'm your host, Teevar, and Erik is not with me this week, unfortunately. He said he can't do the show, so I'm here to carry the show yet again. The Fortune Tellers Wrestling Show Experience is here to give you your Raw and SmackDown review needs, if you will. So, of course, I'm just kidding when I talk about Fortune Tellers Wrestling Show Experience because, of course, this show, Raw, SmackDown was good. I liked SmackDown. SmackDown was fun. SmackDown is always, I guess I can't say always, but for the most part, SmackDown is pretty much better than Raw in just every week. Like, there are some weeks where Raw's is better, which is somewhat, not very often. Excuse me. But this is not one of those weeks where Raw is better than SmackDown. Let me tell you, this Raw episode, right off the bat, just I don't get it. This show, man, like nothing's ever advertised. The only thing that was advertised on Raw was, and SmackDown for that matter, actually, was the Superstar Shakeup. That was it. That's all that was advertised. And of course, I got excited for the Superstar Shakeup because it's about damn time some new faces and some fresh. They needed to freshen things up on both shows. The Raw Tag Team Division was just dead. Like and I love Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. I thought they had potential for a great story to be told when they won the titles. But when your tag champions are complete total losers, legitimately, they admitted that themselves on the show. They actually had them admit that on the show, that they were just losers. So when you have the tag team champions admit themselves to be losers, tag team division's dead. Don't care what anybody says, okay? SmackDown's tag team division was also kind of just boring, if you will. I love the Usos, but I've had my fill of the Usos as tag team champions for a little bit, and I was saying for a long time that they should go on Raw and freshen things up and save the Raw tag team division. Like the tag team division on SmackDown at least wasn't dead, because there's always great wrestling. Like the Bar is obviously a great team. The Usos are one of the best tag teams ever, in my opinion. The New Day are great, of course. But on Raw, they have good tag teams on Raw, but Revival are being misused, of course. And it's not just the tag team division. Everything about the shows is all over the place and disjointed. And I was excited at the prospect of everything being fresh and new. And Superstar Shakeup is a lot like the draft, of course. I miss the draft, actually. I like the randomness of the draft compared to the Superstar Shakeup. Like the Superstar Shakeup, they just kind of come out if they're on their new show. And I mean, that's fine, but I like the draft. I liked the draft a lot because obviously it's predetermined. It's a wrestling show. It's a work, but they presented it as if it was random, and what you were getting was like nobody knew who was getting it, right? So that random, and the presentation of it was just fun, So that being said, Superstar Shakeup desperately needed in this company. Everything was kind of getting boring. And let's just jump right into it, because I have a lot to say about this stupid show. So Raw starts. Stephanie McMahon comes out to loud boos. This crowd was this was in Montreal. Both Raw and SmackDown were in Montreal this week, and Stephanie came out, loud boos. Shane McMahon eventually came out, loud boos for him as well. He got really loud boos. And Shane McMahon told Mike Rome, I guess, obviously JoJo is pregnant, so Mike Rome and Greg Hamilton have been filling in for JoJo at ring announcing. So Shane McMahon told Mike Rome to do his entrance real good. It wasn't as good as Greg Hamilton, but that's, not saying much because Greg Hamilton is awesome at what he does. Shane, of course, shows some footage and some photos of him grabbing Mr. Mizanin by the face, kept calling him baked potato face. I don't know what I don't know what that's supposed to mean after all these times of him calling him that, but whatever. He's a heel, so they were about to announce who the first new Raw star is, and I think they kind of gave it away with Shane really playing up how he's shitting on Miz's father, because Miz's music hit and Miz stormed the ring from behind. He attacked Shane, and somewhere in this this fracas that they had, they were brawling outside the ring. Miz got tossed over the barricade, and then he came right back and leapt onto Shane. But during this, Miz got busted open. So I don't know if that happened when he got thrown over the barricade. Must have hit his head on something, busted open a little bit. But it honestly kind of left for a cool visual, because he was just had blood like all down his face, but he wasn't like bleeding profusely or anything. So that's good. So excuse me. So that was the first segment. Hot open. This crowd loved The Miz. They were really into this. This crowd the whole night, Raw and SmackDown, was very, very good. Raw and I'm surprised because this Raw show was not very good, and the crowd was the best thing about the show, in my opinion. They were just lights out, great and loud and hot for everything. So this was fine. This was a fine open. Miz is now officially a member of Monday Night Raw. He's not on SmackDown anymore. I could already see how they can start the Miz Intercontinental Championship reign. Although, as we learn later, Intercontinental Championship is not on Raw. Ooh. So Miz is gonna have to wait a little bit longer for that IC title. I think he's up to 9 at the moment. He's tied. I think he's tied with Jericho at the moment. I could be wrong. I have to look that up. I don't have the stats right here with me, but he's like 1 away from breaking some record, I think. But yeah, once Shane starts to leave, they advertise Becky Lynch versus Ruby Riott for later tonight. So I thought, well, great. Ruby's just going to lose. If you didn't know, I'm a big fan of Ruby. And I like Becky and everything, but I don't like how... I'm not a fan of how the Riott Squad are just the job girls. They just... Whenever you need somebody to job out to somebody, just head right to the Riott Squad, right? It's not like, it's not like they're talented or anything. So... Yeah, they hype up after that a 6-man tag match with Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and a new mystery partner coming from SmackDown. So it was not going to be Braun Strowman like I thought it was when I saw this. I thought for sure it was going to be Braun Strowman, just to like give us the same old damn match that we've seen a billion times. And who are Seth and Roman and this mystery partner facing? Oh, my favorite team in history, the Three Stooges. Baron Corbin, Drew McIntyre, and Bobby Lashley. I thought we were done with this. Every time I think this team is dead, they just come back. They just come back and haunt me. If I never see this team ever again, I will die a happy man. I am so over this match. And I honest to God, I guess I wasn't paying attention, but I don't know if they said SmackDown Superstar the first time they introduced this match, but part of me thought also, instead of, if it wasn't going to be Braun, it was going to be Dean Ambrose, just to troll everyone. That would have been funny, to be honest, but no, I was wrong. And funnily enough, the Shield, they've advertised, are having their last ever match tonight, actually. I will probably be in the middle of this show while that is going on. It's on the WWE Network. It's a house show match. It's the Shield versus, I think it's Baron Corbin, Drew McIntyre, and Lashley. I'm pretty sure. So that's going to be streaming on the WWE Network at 9:30. It's currently 8:26 as I speak right now. So unless I hurry this review up, I'm probably going to be in the middle of reviewing while that match is going on. But to be quite honest, I don't expect too many people to be watching that anyways, so it's not that huge a deal. Excuse me. So here's where we get here's where I started to get annoyed with this show. So they have this. So Ricochet and Aleister Black come out. They have this 8-man tag match that they're doing, right? So Aleister Black and Ricochet come out. The tag team champions, of course, get a jobber entrance because that makes a whole lot of sense, right? Who screw the tag team champions, right? Screw making them actually like worth something and making them look credible. Don't just skip through their entrance. So we go to commercial. We come back. It's Aleister and Ricochet and Hawkins and Ryder and Revival are in the ring and making it seem like, oh, there's going to be a new team. Like, there's going to be a new team from SmackDown or NXT or whatever teaming with the Revival. And the War Raiders music hits. And I, for a second, well, my first, of course, my first natural reaction was, holy shit, it's the War Raiders, because I really like the War Raiders, of course. They're a really good team. And I've said this before, actually, on the show, I think. I even broke my own, is promise the right word? I don't even know, but I said on the show once, or maybe twice, that I'm not even going to get my hopes up anymore about any NXT call-ups, because after what they've done with the last couple batches of NXT call-ups, there's literally no point to getting excited, you know? Like, I can sit here and try to say over and over again, oh, you know, that's going to be great. They're going to treat him right. This will be the one where they actually treat the NXT call-ups correctly, right? Where they don't make them look like shit, right? Well, every time it seems, it's not every time, I'm exaggerating, but it sure seems like most times that's not the case. EC3 ruined, right? And of course, he's buried even more on this show, which we'll get to. You know, Lacey Evans was botched. Again, we'll get to that later tonight. Lacey Evans' call-up was botched, in my opinion. Nikki Cross should be a star. She's extremely over with the fan base, but here she is just doing jack shit. Ember Moon, when she got called up, did nothing. She was very over too. So pretty much, you know, I guess the only one they've really, in the last year or so, the only one they've really protected well is Drew McIntyre. And even then, they could have done better with him. Case in point, teaming him with Baron Corbin and Bobby Lashley again. There's no need for Drew McIntyre to be teaming again with those two stooges, you know? I call them the three stooges just because it's funny, but really it's only the two stooges. Because I love Drew McIntyre, but there's no need. There's no need for them to be pairing him up with them again. But anyways, my point being is I tried to be realistic about these NXT call-ups, and even still, through all that, I was still very excited when I heard the War Raiders music. Well, they sure killed my excitement real quick, because their music hits, the crowd goes crazy because they love the War Raiders, and then up on the screen, there's so many elements that make this dumb. Up on the screen, it says, the Viking Experience. And that's their team name now, the Viking Experience. And now they are not Rowe and Hansen anymore. Oh no. They are now Teevar and Erik. Erik with a K and Ivar spelled Ivar, which actually seems like it would be pronounced Ivar, right? So, this, of course, I mean, does anybody like, I don't even know anymore. Where do I begin with this shit? Okay, so first off, let's hypothetically say they didn't change their names and they were still the War Raiders. They were still Rowan Hansen. Let's say that this name change didn't happen, because this is the biggest talking point, the name change. And you know what? I guess rightfully so. The name change is retarded and it's stupid, right? They got memed to shit with this name change. So before I go into the name change and why that's stupid, let's tackle something else that nobody else is talking about. Firstly, they are the NXT Tag Team Champions right now. They got called up as the NXT Tag Team Champions. They didn't even come out with their NXT Tag Team titles with them. They just came out without the titles. So they got called up already as champions, kind of similar to when Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa got called up. As when Johnny Gargano, of course, they're not champions anymore. Well, Johnny is technically, but Johnny got called up as the North American champion in NXT, and Tommaso got called up as the freaking full-on NXT champion. And they called up Tommaso as a babyface, of course, because who gives a shit, right, about continuity within this company? Ciampa's one of the biggest heels in the whole business, so they call him up as a babyface. That sure makes sense. But they call these people up as the champions. That's the first. Well, the first problem is changing their name, but they call them up as champions. Why, though? If you're going to call somebody up from NXT when they're already a champion, it kind of ruins the surprise of a title match that they're going to have in NXT down the line, right? Because it kind of says, well, they're going to have to lose these NXT tag titles, right? Like, unless they pull like a, Kevin Owens, when he got called up and had that feud with John Cena, he kept the NXT championship for a little bit, and he actually brought it with him on Raw. And he actually carried it around, and he actually kept it for a little bit before he dropped it. But point being, it just ruins like the suspense of they're going to drop it. Like they're next time they have a tag title match in NXT, they're going to drop it. So why don't you at least wait until they drop the titles and then call them up? So that's the first mistake, right? Second mistake, they got called up as heels. Last I checked, the War Raiders were face. They were babyface. So again, screw continuity, right? Let's just call up babyfaces as heels with no explanation. They're just bad guys now. Guys. They're just teaming up with Revival against Ricochet and Aleister. Ricochet and Aleister faced the War Raiders in the NXT Tag Team title match at the latest TakeOver. But they were both faces. They were both face teams. The War Raiders were not heels in that match. They were just, I guess the crowd was neutral, whoever they wanted to win, But, like, why? Why do they spit in the face of continuity? And this all comes, like, a week or two after WWE reportedly, I guess it's not even a report, I guess it's just true, WWE put out a job, like a help wanted sign, pretty much, for a continuity editor in the company. Wow. Well, I'm glad they're actually at least starting to realize they fucked up along the way and not having any continuity on any of their damn shows. I've been watching WWE since 2008. That's when I started watching wrestling. Now, I'm not going to try and sit here and act like I know so much about wrestling, because I was a kid, I didn't grow up in the 90s like a lot of fans did in the Attitude Era, right? I didn't grow up in that era. I grew up at the very beginning of the PG era in 2008 and watching. That being said, I seriously don't even recall a time period since I started watching wrestling in general where a company has had worse continuity issues. That's how serious I believe this to be. WWE does not care about continuity. They don't care about NXT. And the name change is just the icing on the cake, if you ask me. The name change, in my opinion, honest to God, as horrible as it is, isn't even the worst part about this, in my opinion. I mean, it's terrible. It's freaking awful. Don't get me wrong. It's terrible. But it's not even the worst part. The name change is just, just the shit icing on the shit cake. So, yeah, already starting off on the wrong foot. So, of course, this tweet that they made, WWE tweeted, of course, they live tweet during the shows, Teevar, Erik, the reigning WWE NXT Tag Team Champions, the Viking Experience is here on Raw. And they got ratioed hard. The ratio of replies to this tweet to likes on this tweet is 5,400 to 3,100. So they got ratioed hard. They got meaned to hell. I don't want to be that guy that says the Viking Experience. I'm not even going to call them that anymore. I'm gonna keep calling them War Raiders. I'm still adamant. I maintain. I'm still adamant on calling Mustafa Ali, right? I don't call him just Ali. I think name changes are stupid. I still call Andrade Cien Almas. I still call, to a lesser extent, because I never see him on TV, Otis Dozovic and Tucker Knight. I don't like when they change names in general, but this is just awful. So, you know what? They actually had a fine match. As far as 8-man tag matches go, it was just marred by the horrible name change, you know? The match was fine. So, Rowan Hansen, they got the pin victory on Zack Ryder. They pinned the tag team champions immediately after Hawkins and Ryder win the tag titles. 2 weeks later, they're just getting pinned by new call-ups, right? Why are you doing that? I know what you're gonna say. Oh well, if they would have pinned the Revival, you would have just been mad. It's like, well, no, because Revival haven't been doing anything. If you're gonna make Hawkins and Ryder mean something as the tag champions, you have to have them win some match. And I'm not saying they should have won this match, but I'm just saying they maybe should have not been pinned. You got to have them mean something. You just had Kurt Hawkins go on a 270 whatever loss streak, and he finally won some matches, and now he's losing again. Like, whatever. This match fucking was stupid for just everything about it. Just everything about it is a slap in the face to NXT, the fans' intelligence, continuity. Everything about this match was stupid. The name change, War Raiders being heel for no reason, just War Raiders coming up as the NXT Tag Team Champions. It's just ridiculous. So already, this show was starting off badly, except for the Miz part, which was fine. So after that, Cedric Alexander gets a video package, and he's coming to Raw, so I'm fine with that. I like Cedric Alexander. I know we give him shit for his theme song, but he can't control that. It's just a theme song, you know? But Cedric Alexander is a great wrestler. I'm excited to see what he can do on the main roster. But since I don't know. Mustafa Ali has been treated very well since he came up from the Cruiserweight division, so for all intents and purposes, of course. But I'm wondering how they're going to treat Cedric Alexander, if they're just going to turn him into a jobber or whatever. I don't know. So excited there. Finn Balor comes out. He's gonna face a new opponent from SmackDown, and after commercial ends, Andrade Cien Almas comes out. So Andrade is now a member of Raw. So the theme of WWE not breaking up, but like separating couples from each other continues, because of course Andrade is dating Charlotte Flair. So, you know, we can't have couples being with each other on the same show. So Charlotte's on SmackDown and Andrade's on Raw. So, yeah, Andrade cuts a promo in Spanish. I don't know what he said, but I guess what he really said was, "I'm gonna kick your ass." So I don't know what he said. So, Finn Balor and Andrade have a decent, fun little match. I thought they had good chemistry. I could have got behind an Andrade versus Finn program. Andrade beat Finn Balor with the Hammerlock DDT, with assistance from Zelina Vega, of course, with the ref's back turn. So I thought this match was pretty fun. I thought they were setting up a Finn versus Andrade feud. So that was that's what you find out on SmackDown. That's not the case because Finn goes to SmackDown. But yeah, I thought this match was fun, and Andrade gets a big win finally on his Raw debut, so that was good. Up next, Elias is in the ring. He plays a recap. Of course, the show had a billion recaps. Now there's also reports that leading into this show, they actually had more planned for this show, but a lot of people had trouble making it to the show due to travel issues, and I think I read visa issues as well, because I guess because it's in a different country, and a lot of people couldn't make it to the show. And one of those people that could make it to the show, not due to travel issues, was Samoa Joe. I guess he had the flu, so he was supposed to be on the show, and to continue the Braun Strowman and Samoa Joe story that they teased last week. And he was not there, so they had a lot more planned. And So that, of course, because of that, I guess this show had a billion recaps. Honest to God, they probably would have just had a billion recaps anyways, because that's what they do. So Elias came out. He shit on the Canadians. This crowd shit all over him for that. Loud, loud, loud boos. It was reminiscent, of course, of the when he was in Seattle talking about how they don't have a basketball team and they booed him out. They booed him out for like 5 minutes straight, just nonstop boos. So yeah, he shit on the Canadians. He said he's gonna sing a song, and Rey Mysterio's music hits. So Rey Mysterio is now a member of Raw, and he comes out. He beats up he beats up Elias, poor Elias, and Elias, of course, he escapes the 619, and Rey is just in the ring, and then Lars Sullivan's music hits, and I thought, oh shit, Rey is gonna get creamed. So he came out, he destroyed Rey Mysterio, hit the freak accident on him, and then he hit a huge power bomb on him, and I guess that's setting up Rey versus Lars. But then again, Lars is destroying a lot of people, so that could just be just to put him over as a monster. So I don't know what they do with Lars. They sure are putting him over real big during these his official call up, and that was fine. I didn't really see anything wrong with that. Rey's a member of Raw now, and Rey and Andrade are on the same show again. So sweet, they can continue that. I'm a fan of that. I know I saw a couple people saying how they're sick of seeing that match because they kind of did it a lot on SmackDown, but I'm fine with it because it's a great match. And yeah, so they come back from commercial. Bobby Roode and Chad Gable are out there. They're getting ready, and they spoiled who they were going to face, who was coming to Raw. Because when they went to when they showed the nameplate, when they went to show the nameplate for Roode and Gable, it did not say Chad Gable and Bobby Roode. It said the Usos, and they quickly took it down. So, yeah, great job there, production guys. I bet Kevin Dunn blew a gasket there. So, the Usos come out, of course. Bobby Roode, Chad Gable versus the Usos. This match was fine too. Of course, I actually really enjoyed. I actually really enjoyed Bobby Roode and Chad Gable as a tag team. Like, a lot of people weren't into it just because Chad Gable's been in a billion tag teams. He's been with American Alpha, Shelton Benjamin, and now this. So he hasn't done anything singles wise. But so I guess, and I want to see more of singles Chad Gable as well. But I thought Bobby Roode and Chad Gable as a tag team had a lot of chemistry, and they have a lot of fun offense as well. I actually really enjoyed their work as a tag team, so I was pleasantly surprised when they got when they came together. And the Usos won this match. They pinned Chad Gable with the double flying splashes. So that match was fine. There was nothing wrong with that. So. They showed more recaps of WrestleMania, even though the show at that point was 8 days ago. Up next, they hype up a moment of bliss with Sami Zayn and Alexa Bliss. So it's just more filler, to be honest. And I thought at least this was fun filler because they're in Montreal, and Sami Zayn came out and he got a hero's welcome. He was dancing to his theme music. The crowd was singing to his theme music. And right as he sat down, the production guys played his music again. So then he started dancing again. They started singing his music again. He sat down. They played his music again. So they did that like 2 or 3 times, and that was fine. And he said, "Oh, look at this! I'll do you one better. I got them in the palm of my hand." Then he started an Olay chant, which was funny because I don't think he's ever acknowledged the Olay chants. So that was funny, actually. Alexa says, "It's great to see you back on Raw," and Sami says he's been in the city all week with my friends, my family. I love this city. The city's great. Except the people. Oh my goodness, the people are horrible in this city. The low point of my week right now is just being in this room with all these people. And he goes, it's hard to explain. It's just so Quebec. And the crowd boos him out for that. And I love Sami Zayn as a heel. If this is reminiscent of Daniel Bryan as a heel recently. Just shitting on the crowd. He's like enlightened somewhat. He calls them out for being critics of the show. It's kind of like me, actually. Yeah, but the thing is, the difference is I actually like this a lot. I like this the Sami Zayn, and I've when they first turned him heel in 2017, with that feud with Shane McMahon, I was like, wow, I don't know how they're going to do this because he was never heel, and he was such a good face, I guess, and I was pleasantly surprised about Sami Zayn being a heel because he is so entertaining, and yeah, so he's out there, he's shitting on everyone. He says, "I don't want to be here tonight," but it's funny. 9 months ago, I would have been looking forward to this kind of reaction, but now the cheers you people make towards me make me a bit sick. The crowd projects all of your issues onto me, and I'm not accepting it. I think it's disgusting, and you should all be ashamed of yourselves. So Alexa Bliss, I guess, is a babyface now, because she goes, are you, these are your people. Do you think you're just so much better than all these people? And she repeated herself like 5 times. Like, do you really think you're better than all these people? What? That's it? You're just better than these people? You're better than your people? It's like, okay, Alexa. She must have forgot her lines because she repeated that line like 4 times. So Sami Zayn said, these people are not my people. I don't even live here anymore. I live in Orlando, Florida. I chose to leave this place, just like I'm choosing to leave right now. And they start doing the na-na-na, hey, goodbye chants to him. And Sami said, see y'all in hell. And he dropped the microphone and left. So that was filler. At least I had fun with it because Sami Zayn came off great in this, in my opinion. So they get back in the from break. And here's another part of the show I didn't like at all. So the iconic duo, the women's tag team champions, are just kind of there. So they hype up, not hype up. They show a WWE.com exclusive, which is not actually ever an exclusive because is it really an exclusive if you're gonna show it on Raw like hours later after you post it on the website? Is it really an exclusive anymore? So it was a backstage segment with this exclusive, of course, from earlier in the day was a backstage segment. Bayley was trying to get a hold of Sasha Banks, who, as we know, has apparently been fed up with WWE creative, and she threatened to leave WWE last week, and she's not showing up, and just all that shit going on there. I don't know what's going to happen, but they kind of incorporated it into a story a little bit, and Becky's trying to get a hold of her. Iconic duo come out of nowhere, and they're like, "Oh, where's your partner? We'll find you. You can be our partner, whatever, you know." And Bayley's like, "Don't talk to me like that. I'll find another partner to face you tonight on Raw." So Iconic duo are out there. Bayley's music hits. She gets a lukewarm reaction because the Montreal crowd does not like Bayley. Canada does not like Bayley for some reason. I can't remember why. I think I read on Reddit. I read on Reddit an explanation for why the Canadian crowd does not like her. But I can't remember what it is. But she kind of got a lukewarm reaction here. They didn't really boo her that much, but on SmackDown they did though. But we'll get to that. So her music hits. She's coming out. And you know it's going to be someone from SmackDown. So I thought, well, fuck. Who the hell is it? It's going to be Naomi. That was my first guess. It's either going to be Carmella or Naomi because there's no one on SmackDown that would have, you know. In fact, before this shakeup happened, I think SmackDown only had like a handful of faces, you know? I guess Becky Lynch is a tweener right now because she'll come after everyone, and she's just kind of for herself at this moment. She's for the fans, obviously, so I guess in that right, she's a good guy. But other than that, Naomi and Carmella are the only two faces on SmackDown before the shakeup that I could think of. Asuka, oh, of course, Asuka. I forgot about Asuka. But like other than that, I don't think I can come up with any more. But I thought, well, it's going to be Naomi just because. And Naomi's music hit. So Naomi is now on Raw. She was teaming with Bayley. This match was 2 minutes long. Naomi pinned Billie Kay. So they beat tag team champions again 2 weeks in a row. Because didn't they lose? I think they lost. Like they lost last week as well on Raw. So let's just keep pinning the tag team champions. You know, that'll make for fucking great just shows. Let's break up Bayley and Sasha for absolutely no reason. After a stupid, boring, not even boring, but just a stupid, lame-ass 1 month title reign where they were promised to make those titles credible. Let's give them to jobbers and the Iconic Duo. And then I like the Iconic Duo. I'm a fair man. I'm just saying it how it is, you know? It's nothing against the Iconic Duo, but they gave the titles to jobbers, you know? So, and here they are, just jobbing them out again to Naomi and Bayley. And they moved Bayley to SmackDown. So what was the point of this? So, yeah, they pinned the champions in 2 minutes. And I thought, please, God, do not tell me we're going to get a Bayley and Naomi tag team. I am really... It's no disrespect against Naomi. I like Naomi, but I am not interested in a Bayley and Naomi tag team whatsoever. So, luckily, as we find out, that does not happen. They were showing after the show, though, like on another WWE.com exclusive that they post to Twitter, like an hour after the show, so it's not even, of course, it's not an exclusive, but they were talking to, I think it was probably Kayla Braxton backstage. Naomi was like, well, now that Sasha's, they didn't even officially, like, break up Sasha and Bayley. Like, they just said that they were not together anymore. So I was like, great. What a fucking waste of time. You know? These tag team titles are already done. Like, I called it, by the way, when they announced the tag team titles for the women. I said it's not going to mean anything if they're booked like the men. Men's tag team titles are booked horribly. Nobody cares about those, you know? Nobody cares at all about the men's tag team titles, and it's not going to mean anything if the women's tag team titles are treated the same. And here I am being proven right yet again. Maybe I really am a fortune teller. Well, no, it's not even me being a fortune teller. It's just common sense. Like, anybody could have foreseen that coming if they watched the show. So, yeah, I called it. So, just job out the tag team champions again, and they do it again on SmackDown, but we'll get to that. So, EC3 comes out. Michael Cole's like, he demanded competition. And he got it. So I'm like, all right. So that means he's going to get squashed. Because normally, when they just say a dude demanded competition without giving him any video package or whatever, not video package, but like promo work, they're just like, it means they're going to lose and get squashed. So he comes out. They go to commercial. They show another one of those dumb puppet promos. The puppet coming out of the box, which it's seemingly Bray Wyatt. EC3 is sitting in the ring, posing awkwardly. The crowd's totally apathetic. And then Braun Strowman's music hits. So I'm like, great. Just awesome. Great. I'm so glad that we're going to squash EC3 again. So they go to wrestle. They don't even have the match. Braun Strowman throws them all around the ring, power slams him, destroys him. Goes up to the announce table. He throws him into the stage, like the lighting on the stage, and he choke slams him through the stage. Just that wooden breakaway stage, of course. He choke slammed him through the stage and annihilated him. So there was no match. So this was just a burial for the sake of a burial. I mean, EC3's been buried anyways, so it doesn't really matter to begin with, but I'm just saying, it accomplished nothing. What did this accomplish besides just throwing a guy out there for filler? Like, this accomplished nothing. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. I don't know why they hate EC3 so much. I honest to God do not get it at all. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous how they've been treating EC3. A dude with so much charisma and talent. What did he do to deserve this? I don't get it. I really don't get it at all. Like, it just boggles my mind. Why you would call up a guy and then just bury him, just give him nothing. Why call him up then? I said when he first got called up that he was called up too soon anyways. He was only in NXT for a couple of months when he finally joined NXT. So just I'm getting a little tired of WWE calling people up just to set them up for failure. Already setting the War Raiders up for failure with this stupid name, and I just get so disheartened watching this damn show, you know? I don't want to pull my hair out when I watch SmackDown. Sometimes I do, but it's not often where I want to pull my hair out watching SmackDown. But when I watch Raw, I just get so tired and annoyed, and who wants to deal with that every week, you know? Like, I've contemplated not watching Raw, but I love it too much. I can't stop watching. I don't know what's wrong with me. So yeah, EC3 literally got buried through the stage. Becky Lynch came out, made her entrance. They show more recaps of the show. They show after that though, they show on a graphic. They show on a graphic that Eric Young is on Raw. Like, they showed all the current shakeups, right? Who's coming to Raw? So I guess EC3 was just decided to be on the Raw now, because he was kind of on both shows, even though that's not even true. I don't think I saw him once on SmackDown. So yeah, they just showed in a graphic Eric Young on Raw now. So Sanity is split up. Alexander Wolf came out on Twitter and said that Sanity is now gone. It is forever. It is now dead. So way to go, guys. You ruined a great team again. What a fucking shocker. You ruined an overacted NXT by calling them up and doing jack shit with them and just jobbing them out. Great job. Can't wait for that to happen to War Raiders, huh? So I have no hope for the War Raiders. I'm sorry. Talented bunch of people, but how many fucking people need to be buried on this show and ruined before people start to realize, oh, hey, there's no hope for these guys getting called up? You know, I'm glad that they got called up because they're making more money and they probably get to live a lifelong dream of theirs being on Raw and stuff. But, you know, it goes back to like why EC3 and not EC3. Why the fuck did I say that? Oh, yeah, but I do have to say something about EC3. This sure seemed like a send-off for EC3, right? He just got squashed, so hopefully he leaves WWE and goes somewhere where he's actually taken seriously. That's my bet. Or that's my hope, not my bet. That's my hope, where he actually goes somewhere. Because you can tell he's not very happy with where he is. His mannerisms on Twitter, just the way he looks, and I don't know what they do with him, but Sanity's dead. Alexander Wolf said, goodbye, WWE. So people thought he was leaving WWE, but it turns out he's going to NXT UK. So spoilers, sorry for anyone wanting to watch, but it was even WWE themselves tweeted about it. So it's not like it was a big secret, you know. So I think I'm allowed to spoil that in that sense because WWE themselves tweeted about it. So Alexander Wolf is in NXT UK now. Good for him. I hope he succeeds so much in that brand. I don't know where Nikki Cross and Killian Dane are in this mix because they didn't even announce where they were going at all. They didn't even announce where they were going in the official list of people, like the official WWE list of the full-on shakeup results. So, Becky versus Ruby Riott. This match was fine. No problems with this match. Becky Lynch submitted Ruby Riott with the disarm her. Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan storm the ring. Becky takes them on just like it's nothing, of course. And that was kind of it. So, They go backstage. They do a stupid Baron Corbin and a Baron Corbin, Bobby Lashley, and Drew McIntyre just interview. I'm sick of seeing them. I shudder at watching them. So they do that. Who gives a shit? They go back to the ring, and Becky, for some reason, is just still out there standing. And then Natalya comes out, and then we go back to commercial. We come back from commercial. Natalya congratulates Becky on her win at WrestleMania, because we got to do that every fucking time there's a women's segment, and any segment in general. Natty says that Becky was the first person to pin Ronda. She says that, of course, you have to sleep with one eye open, so I want to tell you, Becky, that I'm the best there is, the best there was, and the best that there ever will be. And they're in Montreal, and Natalya actually got boos for that line. The fans booed her for saying that. I guess they didn't like the gimmick infringement, even though Natalya, since she has been not since she has been wrestling completely, because she wasn't always taking his theme and Bret Hart's theme and his look, but I mean it's the Hart family. They've always kind of had the same look and feel and theme, somewhat, right? So she's always been like that, but she got booed for saying that, which was kind of lame. Becky says, "I appreciate you, Natalya. I know that you're one of the overlooked women who've had to earn every single chance they've had. You weren't just given opportunities like Ronda and Charlotte, and Becky and Natalya were wrestling together when they were like real young, like years ago, before they came to WWE. So there's history there." And Becky says it would be a pleasure to face Natalya. Lacey Evans' music hits. She finally says something. Holy shit! It took her like 2 or 3 months to finally talk and say stuff. And finally, man. And it turns out Lacey Evans is actually a pretty good promo, in my opinion. I actually like Lacey a lot. I think she's athletic. Of course, they say that all the time on commentary, right? But she's actually not a bad worker. I think she's entertaining. I like her character a lot. She's got a good look to her. And say what you want about, Vince is pushing the blonde woman. Well, if they had pushed Natalya, would you be saying that she's blonde? No. So they pushed Natalya. They gave her the SmackDown Women's Championship in 2017, and nobody said that. So, I'm not really a fan of the people saying, Vince likes who he likes, but they literally put the championships on a girl who's orange hair. They gave her both the titles and pushed her like a star, a mega star, like she is, of course. So I'm not really a big fan of the whole, Vince over pushing the blondes, because it just comes off as like, I don't want to use the word discriminatory, because it's kind of like over the top way of putting it, It's like a little too much, right? But like, I gotta say, all these people that talk about people being discriminatory towards women and women's wrestling and stuff, there's just as many people and just as many women in general online that shit on all these women who are blonde. Like, they can't help that they're blonde. What are they supposed to do? Turn down a push, Like, who gives a fuck? As long as they're entertaining, It's different, though. Say a girl like Charlotte, right? There's a difference, because Charlotte, I would argue, and I think a lot of people would agree with me, is overpushed, right? They love Charlotte. And Charlotte's really good, too. She's one of the best women's wrestlers in the world, in my opinion. But, at the same time, I think people that say that she's pushed just because she's blonde they're wrong, because she's pushed because she's the daughter of Ric Flair, in my opinion. She's pushed so hard because she's got drawing power, I guess. If you ask me, nobody in this company has drawing power anymore. Like, I mean, ratings are bad. They've the worst they've ever been. The ratings are the worst they've ever been. I don't think anybody can be honest and say that the nobody really draws much anymore. Like, it's not like it used to be, obviously, but that being said, I don't like the whole talk of people bitching and moaning on the internet, talking about, oh, he's pushing the blonde woman again. It's like, shut up, you know. It doesn't matter who they push. They'll push anybody and you'll still complain about it, you know? Like, there's a lot of people that hate there's a lot of people that think Becky is overrated, you know? And don't like Becky at all. As weird as that sounds, it's actually a lot of people that don't like Becky. But Lacey Evans comes out. She can actually talk. She says, you nasties need to stop discussing a title match amongst yourselves because a lady knows how to curry favor and get exactly what she wants. And now that I'm officially on Monday Night Raw, I want the Raw Women's Championship. And with the permission of the McMahon family, I have the authority to tell Natalya, that we will be wrestling in a #1 contenders match for that title right now. So, again, just an impromptu #1 contenders match and no explanation, you know? Just the McMahon family throwing a random ass #1 contender. She's just thrown in the title picture, Lacey Evans. I love Lacey Evans. I literally just put her over so much right there. I just want, you know, I just don't want people that have been. She has had what? I don't even think she's had a single match on Raw or SmackDown since she got called up. She made appearances. She was in the Rumble match, but I'm talking singles or tag teams or fucking anything. She had matches on Main Event. I don't count that. I count Raw and SmackDown. This was her first match on Raw, and it's a #1 contenders match for the Raw Women's title. Like, seriously, really, you're just gonna do that? Like, why don't you build somebody up before you throw them in the title picture? Again, you're setting people up for failure because what you're telling the fans is that it doesn't matter what anybody does. You're just gonna hand somebody a chance immediately. You're just handing somebody. At least it's not like. It's not as bad, of course, as Charlotte just being put in a title match with no contenders match against Asuka, right? She was just put in the title match and won the title, no explanation. This is at least is not like that, but I still don't like it. So, yeah, Natalya versus Lacey Evans for #1 contenders match for the Raw Women's title. This match was fine, I thought. I didn't mind this match at all. Lacey Evans, the finish was Lacey Evans hit Natalya with the woman's right, which knocked out Natalya, and then she hit her moonsault. And Lacey Evans is actually good at the moonsault, but this one is kind of like wonky because she need Natalya right in the gut on this moonsault. Poor Natalya got destroyed with this moonsault. So yeah, Lacey Evans pinned Natalya. Lacey Evans is now the new #1 contender for the Raw Women's title. I don't know when they face. I guess they face it Money in the Bank. So, that was fine. The match was fine. Whatever. And somebody pointed out that they hate the woman's right that Lacey Evans does because why wouldn't you just try to do that the whole match, right? It's a punch. It's just a punch, right? So why wouldn't you try to do that the whole match? Why would you try and put rest holds and shit on somebody when you could just knock them out the whole time? I mean, I get what they're saying. It doesn't really bother me that much. I get what they're saying, though. I can understand that. So, Lacey Evans won. Every time, I don't know. It just seems like, I don't know. This show is just so, like, all over the place. I don't know what to think sometimes because I just they're setting these NXT call-ups up for failure sometimes. Like, you have to, you know, I don't want to come off as that guy that's like, well, if they're pushing Lacey Evans and you're still mad, right? Well, yeah, but there's a difference. I don't want people to just get a push right out the gate immediately. Some people weren't happy when Finn Balor won the Universal title because he was just pushed straight away when he got called up from NXT. And I understood that, you know. I can understand that. And I just think that they should build people up instead of just throwing them in there immediately. And that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that they shouldn't be where they are because I'm not that guy. I want to give everybody a fair chance, you know. But whatever, I've gone on too long. So backstage, it's Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns being interviewed, talking about who their mystery partner is gonna be. Seth wants to admit who it is, but Roman's like, no, it's got to be a surprise. And somebody opened the door, like they were in front of the locker room. They came out of the locker room. Somebody opened the door behind them, seemingly who their partner was, and he like shut the door immediately and didn't come out. So I guess he thought he was supposed to come out and reveal himself, but nobody could really get a good look. And I mean, everybody just kind of assumed it was going to be AJ Styles anyways. And sure enough, the Three Stooges come out. Three Stooges come out. Roman and Seth come out, and then AJ Styles music hit. So yeah, it was AJ Styles, and he got a good pop. And AJ Styles is now a member of Raw. This match was fine. It was whatever. I didn't feel any ill will about this match. So AJ Styles got the pin by pinning Bobby Lashley with the phenomenal forearm. I don't know why they didn't pin Baron Corbin, because they're gonna do nothing with him. So, and I'm surprised that they did not. I'm surprised they didn't split up these fucking goofballs. Like, why are Drew, Bobby, and Baron still on Raw all together? If I see this team one more time, I'm gonna lose my shit. I'm done with this team. Nobody likes them. They don't get any reaction. They're just weird together. It doesn't even work. Like, somebody called them three-man bland. Three-man bland is a freaking great name for them because it's true. So, yeah. I forgot also to mention the other spooky Bray Wyatt puppet promo video package. It's showing like a dollhouse, right, for like little dolls, in like a fogged up dark room, and it shows this weird looking black haired puppet with like scary looking eyes and dark lipstick, and she's real pale. Well, not a puppet. It's like a porcelain doll. Actually, it's less of a puppet and more like a porcelain doll. So she was like laughing. So I guess that's supposed to be Sister Abigail, and you can tell this is Bray Wyatt. You can tell this is Bray Wyatt's comeback. So I'm excited to see Bray again. I'm wondering how they're actually going to treat him. Like, they always just kind of job him out immediately after he comes back from whatever. So yeah, that's the one thing I forgot about. So AJ got the win for everyone. That's Raw. Raw sucked in my opinion. Raw was terrible. Just so it was boring. Like, there was really nothing interesting about the show other than the whole meme with the Viking Experience. Yeah. So yeah, after that though, after Raw ended, not right after, but like on the Tuesday of SmackDown, before SmackDown, Luke Harper came out and announced that he requested his release from WWE. He put over the company. He said he was proud of everything he's done. He said the decision was difficult, but he says he feels it's right. It's the right decision. And man, all these people wanting to leave WWE and asking for their release, and I'm disappointed about this because I liked Luke Harper a lot. He got very unfortunate with his injuries and just so like unlucky at some of these. I still say that he should have been put in that title match with Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton at WrestleMania 33, because he was actually pretty over. Like, the crowd was actually getting behind Luke Harper. He was pretty over, and I wish Luke Harper the best of luck, and I don't know what he's going to do. Luke Harper is a pretty damn good performer and worker. I don't know where he goes. People were saying Ring of Honor, AEW. People saying he should work in New Japan. I'd say he would fit anywhere he goes because he's pretty good. Obviously, his age he's getting up there in age. He's said that before too. I don't know how long he wants to do it, but you know what? Good for Luke Harper. I'm happy for him. Making his what he feels is the correct decision. So that's that. SmackDown starts though. SmackDown was much better than Raw, and again, I didn't feel like pulling out my hair watching SmackDown like I did with Raw. So SmackDown starts with the Kevin Owens show. Kevin Owens got a great ovation because he's in Montreal, of course. Crowd chanted huge for him. His guests are the New Day. They're dancing. They're having fun, throwing pancakes around. Kofi speaks in French a little bit to just, I guess, I don't think pander's the right word because that has like kind of a negative connotation to it, but just kind of get good with the crowd. And Xavier said, all of my up down down crew is being taken away from me and put on Raw. If I don't see Tyler Breeze tonight on SmackDown, I'm going to lose my mind. So that was kind of funny because of course up down down is their channel, as Xavier Woods' gaming channel that he has. And Kevin says that all of this just culminates in Kevin saying that they point out that Big E is not out there because last week on SmackDown he tore his meniscus. So Big E's going to be out for like 6 weeks, maybe 7 weeks. He's going to be out for a while. So Kevin was like, I don't know about you, but I'm willing to fill in. I'm willing to be in the New Day. So Xavier is like, there's a lot of commitments you have to make to be in the New Day. You got to wear crop tops. You got to test cereal, throw pancakes, video game tournaments, movement of the groinal region. That's his words. And Kevin starts swiveling his hips and moving his groin around, showing that he can be part of the crew, and the crowd starts popping for that. So that was funny. Kofi says, if the crowd's into it, we're into it. And they give him a crop top of a New Day shirt. They give him the unicorn horn. They put it on his head. He is now an honorary member of the New Day, Kevin fucking Owens, and his new name now is Big O. Big O for Big Owens, and that's funny. So backstage, Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura are watching the TV. Cesaro comes out of nowhere and is like, you guys want to face the New Day tonight? And they're just kind of like, whatever. They didn't really care, to be honest, in my opinion. They just looked like they were whatever, so. And Sheamus, it was just Cesaro. So people wondered why Sheamus wasn't there. And it turns out Sheamus was, he got a concussion last week also during that match where Big E tore his meniscus. So 2 injuries in the same match. How unfortunate, So, up next, Finn Balor comes out. So Finn Balor, officially Intercontinental Champion, is on SmackDown. IC title's back on SmackDown, which means I guess Samoa Joe's going to show up tomorrow night on Raw with the U.S. title. Hopefully he's healed from the flu. So they hype up New Day with Kevin Owens versus Rusev, Nakamura, and Cesaro for the main event. So it's kind of it's not the main. It's the main event for the match. Like the main event is Vince McMahon. They were hyping up throughout the show that Vince McMahon is going to announce who the biggest acquisition in SmackDown history is. History. So people quickly were like, well, it's either going to be Roman or Brock Lesnar. And if it was Brock Lesnar, I was going to be pissed. I'm sick of Brock Lesnar. I thought for sure it was actually going to be Brock Lesnar just because, it seems like it would make sense, of course, in Vince's mind. Yeah, we'll have Kofi drop the title to Lesnar, and then we can have another part-timer on SmackDown as the champion. So, thankfully it was not. We'll get to that. So, Finn Balor comes out. He's facing Mustafa Ali. This match was fun. I like this match. Mustafa and Finn have some good chemistry together, and Finn Balor beat Mustafa Ali. They shook hands after the match as a show of respect to each other because they're baby faces. It goes backstage. Kevin Owens is with the New Day, and New Day is like, you gotta eat this whole plate of pancakes as your initiation. And Kevin's like, what? Initiation? So they hand him this huge ass plate of pancakes, and he's like, you gotta beat Big E's record of 5 minutes and what was it, 27 seconds, I believe. You gotta eat, and they time him and they say go, so he has to start eating them, and he like downs them. He's eating all these pancakes. He said he didn't like pancakes. He wasn't really a big fan. And then it cuts away from that. So then after that, it goes it cuts to R-Truth and Carmella making their entrance. Carmella will be facing Charlotte Flair after the breaks, so yippee, I guess. They get back from commercial, and Kevin Owens is still eating the pancakes. He's got like one left. He's on 5 minutes and 20 seconds. He finally eats the pancake and he beats Big E's record. So does that? Man, Big O is giving Big E a run for his money, man. Like, poor Big E. And so, yeah, that's his coronation. Big E is or Big O, I should say, is now a member of the New Day. So, yeah. After that, we get going to Charlotte versus Carmella. This match was meh. You know, I didn't really feel anything about this match. Charlotte won, of course. I mean, what did you expect? Carmella was never going to win this match. Charlotte won, so they have Carmella win the Women's Battle Royal at WrestleMania on the pre-show. So instead of actually doing something with her, they have her job out to Charlotte immediately. They have Carmella job out to Charlotte right after winning the Women's Battle Royal. Why even have her win? First of all, why even have her win in the first place if you weren't going to do anything with her? And second of all, why even have the match in the first place if you're not going to do anything with the person who wins it, right? And I should say this. The Riot Squad is broken up now. Liv Morgan in all of this, she was one of like the like with the draft. You know how they would show draft picks like on the WWE.com, like the draft picks that were made not on the show. Liv Morgan was shaken up and put over to SmackDown as a singles. It's just Liv Morgan is now on SmackDown. Ruby and Sarah are on Raw. So in fact, tonight is their last match during that house show that the Shield have in their last match in. So Riot Squad are now done. So you know what you could have done, you idiots? Sarah Logan seemingly won that match at WrestleMania, the Battle Royal, which would have been actually, in hindsight, a fucking big deal since she's now seemingly going to be a singles. I don't know if Ruby and Sarah are going to be just a tag team. I assume not because, like, you know, I guess they still could, but maybe they won't be the Riot Squad anymore. I don't fucking know. But all I know is that if you're going to split up the Riot Squad, you could have made at least Sarah Logan something. She was the last person in that match. She eliminated everybody. And then, of course, they pulled the whole, you know, the finish where Carmella wasn't really eliminated. She just went under the bottom rope the whole time and hid, which, might I add, was the same exact finish of last year's WrestleMania Battle Royal with the women, because Naomi eliminated who the fuck was it? It was Bayley, I think. I think it was Bayley. I think it was Bayley. It might have been. So yeah, so why instead of actually, like, if you were going to split up Riot Squad, this seemed like a last minute decision to me, because if you were going to split up Riot Squad, why wouldn't you have Sarah win it or Ruby win it or whatever, you know, because you at least make it mean something. Instead, you just have Carmella win it in a joke fashion, you know, she's kind of a jobber now. So then you just job her out to Charlotte. Great. Now she's just like every other girl. I mean, she kind of already was anyways, but she's with Truth, you know. Carmella and Truth is one of my favorite acts, by the way. I'm not hating on Carmella. I'm just saying, you know. I would have said this about anyone else. I just don't like the idea of making somebody win a match and have it all be for nothing. Just job them out to the big person, right? It's kind of like Roman. People call Charlotte the Roman Reigns, the female Roman Reigns, for a reason, you know. So after the match, Carmella, the finish was the figure 8 leg lock. So after the match, Carmella is selling her leg as if she's hurt. R-Truth gets in the ring. She's checking on her. Lars Sullivan's music hits. He comes out and destroys R-Truth. He had a freak accident. He had a big power bomb, which actually looked a little a little iffy, like with the way he was going to land. But R-Truth was fine. He sold it fine. It looked like he was about to sell it pretty badly. And then Carmella the whole time is just watching this in the corner of the ring. And then Lars Sullivan stares down Carmella in the corner. He stares and stares and stares with a sick, sadistic smile on his face, and and Carmella's looking scared. And first of all, I should have tweeted this out, but I said during this, I guess, Carmella is to Lars what Lita was to Kane. And funnily enough, after this segment ended, like Carmella got on Instagram and posted a picture on her story of Lita and Kane together on an episode of Raw. So how about that? That's funny. So yeah, I guess they're gonna do a story where Lars is interested in Carmella. We'll see how that works out, huh? We'll see how that works out. So, and Lars liked a shit ton of Carmella's tweets on Twitter. So I guess that's at least commitment to the story. So, so I mean, whatever. I know, Carmella losing to Charlotte just immediately after losing that winning that fucking thing at WrestleMania just rubs me the wrong way, because it just further proves the match is useless. Why even have the match? My dad called that match the Battle Royal matches at WrestleMania. He called it the group photo match. Boy, ain't that true. I wish I came up with that, because that's so true, it's not even funny. The group photo match. So, they hype up after that. Becky is going to come out with her 2 belts. Becky 2 belts, quote unquote. They're actually calling her that now. They're just allowed to say belts now. I thought that was a banned term. So, yeah. After that, Becky comes out. The crowd's chanting Becky 2 belts to her. She, of course, they got to point out that she beat Ronda Rousey every chance they get, which I'm getting a little annoyed by. We got it, And they're not even mentioning that it was botched. So, I expect that, though. That's just unlucky. So, she said, with the Superstar Shakeup, I know people are going to come after me. I'm going to slap everyone's heads off. And Ember Moon's music hits. She's back. She was actually in that women's battle royal. I think that was her first match back. So this officially is her return, I guess, to the shows. And Ember Moon, she actually got a pretty good reaction. Fans were happy to see Ember. I was happy to see her. She came out. She said, I'm out here to make a name for myself. I'm not afraid of you. After that, Bayley came out. The fans were booing her loudly because, like I said earlier, Canada does not like Bayley. Becky says, I would offer you a hug, but I think I got all of my hugs out of the way on Raw. It's been a while since I've been on the same show with you, Becky, and this whole last year, I willed the Women's Tag Team Championships into existence, but as special as those titles are to me, now that I'm here on SmackDown as a singles competitor, I got my eyes on 2 other titles. So, Becky and Sasha are officially over now as a tag team. What a fucking waste. What a dumb, stupid waste of fucking stupid TV. Months and months and months and months and months of television of Sasha and Bayley tagging together and putting over the women's tag team division, just all for it to just amount to nothing. They're just done now. They don't even get an official send-off. They just are broken up. So no wonder Sasha's mad. I don't blame her. I really don't. I honest to God do not blame Sasha for being mad one bit. This creative direction is so dumb for anyone. Just the lack of direction, Yeah, we're going to have you do months and months of TV and hyping up this women's tag division. You're finally going to win the tag titles, and then you're going to lose them a month later to jobbers, by the way. And then we're going to split you up. And then it's nothing. Then lack of direction again. No more. What do you do after that? I would be pissed too. I don't blame her. So I don't know what Sasha does. I don't know if she's going to stay on Raw. I don't know if she's going to come to SmackDown. I don't know if she's leaving. I don't know what she does, but whatever happens, happens. So The Iconic Duo come out. Iconic Duo, not Barry, that's not the right word. Iconic Duo shit on Bailey. The crowd cheers Iconic Duo for that because they hate Bailey. And Paige comes out. And of course, last week, Paige said that she was bringing her own tag team to SmackDown during the shakeup. So, of course, everybody thought, oh, so it's going to be Kairi Sane and Io Shirai, the Sky Pirates. And close. I thought it was going to be too. So, Paige says, I'm here to introduce the team I'm managing on SmackDown. I'm personally representing two gifted women I believed in from the beginning. And then Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose come out. And I knew the second they came out that it wasn't going to be them. It was just for a tiny swerve. And Sonya and Mandy, Sonya says SmackDown's waited long enough for the Absolution reunion. And Paige says, well, you're going to have to wait longer because I'm bringing in a new tag team. And out comes Asuka at first. And I thought, well, I wasn't expecting that. So Asuka came out, and then they brought out one of my favorites, actually, legit one of my favorites, a new NXT call-up, Kairi Sane. So she's a tag team with Asuka now, which I'm surprised at. I thought it was going to be Io and Kairi. Honestly, NXT kind of needs Io Shirai because Shayna Baszler has beat like everyone in NXT. Like, she's beat everyone. She's beat Bianca Belair a bunch of times. She beat Kairi Sane a bunch of times. She's beat Ember Moon a bunch of times. They don't have much women. So Io Shirai is obviously going to be the one to have a singles program with Shayna, probably to take the title off of her. So this is fine with me. I'm fine with Asuka and Kairi Sane being a tag team. They work well together, you know, and they're a fun dynamic. So this is the one, since it's SmackDown, and I actually have more faith in SmackDown than anyone else to do this correctly. I have more faith in them than Raw, that's for sure. This is the one call-up I'm actually really excited about because I love Kairi Sane. She's one of my favorites. Asuka and Kairi, I know all I said about Asuka for like the last month straight about them treating Asuka horribly, like she ran the freaking Ferris wheel at the county fair. And that being said, I hope and pray that they do this right. I hope that Asuka and Kairi Sane are treated well, and I don't know if they're going to immediately give them the titles. I don't know. But they go in the ring, they rush the ring, they all start brawling. Becky is just in the corner in the ring watching it all happen. She just shrugs. We come back from commercial. It's an 8-person tag match. It's Asuka, Bayley, Ember Moon, and Kairi Sane versus Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, and the Iconic Duo. And this match was fine. Asuka and Kairi Sane had some fun offense together. They already have such great chemistry, and like they work well together. They were really quick and fluid in this match, and they didn't come off as I don't think they came off as sloppy at all. So I'm actually excited to see this team. Obviously, they're both very good workers, you know. So I'm excited for this tag team. So, Kairi Sane got the win though, by pinning Peyton Royce with the insane elbow, which always looks awesome. That move is always awesome. It's one of the best moves on the whole show, on the whole company, in my opinion. It's great. So, but I gotta say, I'm glad Kairi's here. I'm glad Ember's on SmackDown. The women's division on SmackDown now is stacked. Like, they poached Raw. You know? Like, I was saying for the longest time that SmackDown was really lacking in the women's department. But now that women's division is actually looking really, really solid. And it's I don't know. I don't know how Raw goes because they don't have many people now on Raw. So I gotta say though, again, the tag team champions get pinned 2 nights in a row. So, you know, what are you gonna do? I guess like they could have pinned Mandy. I guess they could have pinned Sonya. I don't know. Just the tag team champions getting pinned twice in a row now. Two nights in a row. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't like that. I think you should treat the champions like they're actually like series. They're the champions, for crying out loud, you know? You gotta have them win. Have they even won a match? Have they even won since they won the tag titles? They won against those local competitors last week. What the hell was their name? The Brooklyn Bells or something like that. I don't know. All I'm saying is, just have them win some more matches so that when they lose the tag titles, it may actually mean something more. I don't know. So, yeah, they also announced that Lars Sullivan is officially on SmackDown, which is the right decision because it would have been stupid putting him on Raw. Braun Strowman was on the show. They don't need two monsters. So, Lars Sullivan being on SmackDown is the correct decision. So, up next, Kevin Owens is doing Big E's normal introduction for the New Day with the microphone. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention though. Also, I forgot to mention a couple things. The Hardy brothers were in the locker room promo talking about how they're the greatest tag team ever in all of space and time. That was pretty much it. Kevin Owens is being coached on how to do that intro, and after that, they show a promo from Buddy Murphy, who's now a member of SmackDown, and I'm damn excited for this because Buddy Murphy is also one of my favorites. And Mustafa Ali and Buddy Murphy on the same show together, they can have great matches again. They had awesome matches in 205 Live. I'm a huge fan of Buddy Murphy. I'm very, very excited for Buddy Murphy on the main roster. I'm glad that 205 Live is being treated as kind of a call-up system like NXT is. There's a lot of damn good talent on 205 Live, and I'm excited for Buddy Murphy. He really deserves it. He was NXT Tag Team Champions with Wesley Blake and Alexa Bliss as their like valet, I guess, a little bit, and they lost the tag titles. Alexa Bliss got called up without Wesley Blake and Buddy Murphy. Buddy Murphy was just doing nothing, literally wasn't anywhere. He got jacked. He got in damn good shape. Went to 205 Live. Was given a chance. Blew up over there. Was really good. Having great matches. Buddy Murphy's a great wrestler. He's really good, and he's always had good matches. And just from going to, they called him the best kept secret for a reason when he came to 205 Live, and from going from best kept secret to now on the SmackDown main roster, I'm very happy for him, and I'm excited to see what he does on SmackDown. There's a lot of good matches that can happen. And after that, Kevin Owens does the intro for them, and now the match is happening. It's Cesaro, Rusev, and Nakamura versus the New Day, and this match was fine. I mean, you know. It was what it was. Kevin Owens won this match for the New Day. He won with his stunner. Because that's his new finish. His new finisher is the stunner. And the way Rusev sold the stunner, it's funny. It's really funny. So Rusev took the stunner and he sold it like it was a snapmare, which was really funny. Kind of like how Vince McMahon sold that stunner from Stone Cold, and even Rusev tweeted that out. And Kevin Owens tweeted out after the match, I'm so good, I didn't even have to win with my finisher. I beat him with a snapmare, which was really funny because that's what I thought. So, yeah, that was funny to see. And so yeah, New Day won the match. I was expecting Kevin Owens to just turn. I guess Kevin Owens is probably going to turn eventually, just because, you know. Like, Kevin Owens is just being buddy-buddy with New Day just to try and weasel his way into the title picture, I guess, to attack Kofi, maybe. That's my prediction. So, Vince McMahon comes out. Vince McMahon is out. He gets actually booed. And it's Montreal, so I don't know what I expected. I expected... Because, you know, whenever... This is what I don't get. As I take a drink of water, my throat's killing me. This is what I don't get about Vince McMahon. So, every time something happens with stupidity and bad booking, bad creative, whatever you call it, bad writing, I don't know. Vince has the final say, and people online shit on Vince all the time. He's out of touch, he's terrible, he's blah, 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 he doesn't got it anymore, he's old, blah, 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 right? But normally when Vince McMahon comes out to the ring, his music hits, they sing along to his music, they bow down to him like he's God. Like, I don't get that at all, but this time they did not do that because he got shit on real loudly. He was booed. He got "You Screwed Brett" chants, of course. That's funny. The "You Screwed Brett" chants because they're in Montreal. So Vince McMahon is hyping up this new biggest signing acquisition in SmackDown history, as they put it. He says, "This man that I've signed is the future of the entire WWE and the greatest acquisition in WWE history." Damn, he's quite the fucking, compliments for this dude. And why wouldn't he be? He's tough, he's talented, he exudes charisma, and I was expecting him to say Brock Lesnar and him to come out. And he goes, "He's Elias." And Elias strums his guitar, he comes out. I was laughing my ass off. I thought this was hilarious. I thought, what a troll. So, Elias came out. He says, he thanks Vince for knowing what WWE stands for. He says, "I've questioned a lot of Vince's decisions, and I complain about all the interruptions, but after what he said and done just now, naming me the biggest acquisition in SmackDown history, well, he's got the pulse on what SmackDown wants. He's got his pulse on the trigger, doesn't he?" Which I guess was kind of a sly troll to like the fans, call him out of touch, He says, "What better way than kicking off the new era than by walking with Elias?" He said, "I know you're upset that AJ Styles is no longer here, but with him gone, SmackDown will now become the Temple of Elias." So he's about to start playing his guitar, and then Roman Reigns' music hits. And this crowd went nuts for Roman. This crowd loved Roman Reigns. So Roman came out. He got in the ring. He stared down Vince McMahon. He stared him down, and he looked at Vince McMahon, and Superman punched him in the face, and Elias caught him as he fell back. He punched Superman. He punched Vince in the face with all his might, and Vince solely fell back. Elias caught him. The crowd went nuts for this. They loved this. Roman got cheered heavily during this. And after that, he speared Elias, and then he said, "SmackDown is my yard now," and the crowd loved it. He speared Elias. That's when he speared Elias. And Reigns stood tall on SmackDown, so Roman is now the top dog, pardon the expression, no pun intended, on SmackDown. So I gotta hand it. And listen, I said it on Twitter. I gotta hand it to Vince. Sometimes he's really good at getting people cheered. It's not often anymore, but this fucking crowd was hugely behind Roman during this. So, yeah. I guess I'll go down. That's SmackDown. SmackDown was a good show, I thought. SmackDown was actually entertaining. It's not like Raw where it was just boring and dragged on forever. So, yeah, we'll see. I'm going to go through this list, the WWE.com official list of all the confirmed results from the shakeup. So, the following superstars moved to SmackDown Live in the Superstar Shakeup: Roman Reigns, Finn Balor, the Intercontinental Champion, Elias, Bayley, Ember Moon, Kairi Sane, Lars Sullivan, Buddy Murphy, and here are the unannounced people. They didn't announce it on TV. Liv Morgan, Chad Gable. So Rude and Gable are now broken up as a tag team. Apollo Crews, Mickie James, and Heavy Machinery. Now the confirmed wrestlers to be on Raw: AJ Styles, The Miz, Ricochet, and Aleister Black. So I guess they're going to stay as a tag team. Erik and Ivar, the Viking Experience. You know what? I'm still gonna call him Rowan Hansen and the Warriors. I don't care. I'm still calling him that. Andrade Cien Almas and Zelina Vega, Rey Mysterio, the Usos, Naomi, EC3 is officially a member of Raw. Lacey Evans, Eric Young, and Cedric Alexander. In this list, they did not show where Nikki Cross is. So what the hell is Nikki Cross doing? Is she actually like? I don't know what she's doing. Like, is she actually like, is she gonna be on both shows? Is she gonna go back to NXT? Is she just gonna be on no shows? Like, what's she doing? Why did they purposely forget about her? So, I mean, to be fair, she hasn't had any matches anyways. But then again, neither really is fucking Heavy Machinery that much, and EC3, he had that squash match on Raw, but that's it. So, yeah, I don't know where Nikki Cross is. I don't know. If I were them, I would probably put them. I mean, I would put them on Raw. I would put Nikki Cross on Raw because they need more women. But at the same time, I don't know, because I don't want anybody to be on Raw because they just get buried and shit on. So I don't know what happens, and whatever. I'll run down what's currently advertised for the upcoming shows, and by that I mean only SmackDown, because they only advertise what's on SmackDown. So something that's been making the rounds is they announced for SmackDown this Tuesday, Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair in a singles match. It's not for any titles, not yet at least. So this kind of got ratioed a little bit. Not a lot, but there are a lot of people that don't want to see Becky and Charlotte again. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know how they do it. Like, I know what people are thinking. Well, you just brought in all these new women to SmackDown, and you're gonna fucking give us Charlotte and Becky again. I kind of see that, but at the same time, do you really want Becky just beating one of the new acquisitions to SmackDown like immediately? No, like, I don't think so. So I don't know what they do. I don't know how this match ends. Becky and Charlotte again. So yeah, interesting to see what goes on there. I don't know, man. Maybe they'll just throw Charlotte in again in the title picture. So also, they announced this Tuesday, will Roman Reigns face major repercussions for attacking Vince McMahon on SmackDown Live? And this was actually something I was not happy about reading. Are you telling me that we're actually going to get another Roman versus Authority storyline? Not the Authority, but Authority in general. Like, Vince runs the show. Are we really going to get another Roman versus Authority storyline? I'm so not looking forward to that. That's true. I don't want that to happen. Please. If anybody from WWE is listening to this, please, I beg you, do not do another Roman versus Vince storyline. I'm about damn sick and tired of Roman versus the Authority. I'm sick of anybody versus the Authority. Authority angles and storylines are so overdone anymore, and they've lost their luster. We went through 3 months, probably even more. We went through like 3 or 4 months of that with Becky and Vince. And we went through it with Kofi versus Vince. So, like, what the hell, man, I think we're done with that. We're past that. Out. We are donezo with that. At least I am. I can't speak for everybody, but yeah, so that's something to look forward to. And also, Kofi Kingston with Xavier Woods and Kevin Owens will face one-on-one with Shinsuke Nakamura this Tuesday. So, yeah, and in other news today, or yesterday, I should say, was it yesterday or was it 2 days ago? It doesn't matter. Goldust, of course, Goldust not announced, but Goldust said that, why do I keep saying that? Goldust was granted his release a couple months ago, I think. A month ago, maybe? Maybe this month, I don't know. And now he officially came on Twitter today, before this show, and said that he was granted his release from WWE. And just yesterday or the other day, they announced for Cody's match at All Elite Wrestling Double or Nothing. It will be Cody versus Dustin, because I guess he can't use the name Gold Dust because I guess it's WWE owned. So he came out with this long statement saying he was so happy to do what he did in WWE and he's proud and he respects everything. And so yeah, best of luck to Gold Dust, I guess. We'll see. We'll see what goes on, and I'm I plan on watching. I plan on watching AEW when it gets TV. If it gets a TV channel I actually get. Like, I read a rumor that it might go to Showtime, but I don't know. That's a good idea. I don't even get Showtime either, so. That just about covers it. I guess I could talk about the CM Punk stuff. CM Punk reportedly, there's evidence behind it too. I gotta say, CM Punk was at an indie show. He dressed up in a mask and a Violent Gentleman sweatshirt, and he ran into the ring at this indie show and hit the GTS on an indie wrestler and helped some dude win. I can't remember. I think it was Ace Steel, actually. And Ace Steel and CM Punk have history together. Ace Steel is, I guess, one of CM Punk's closest friends and helped him get into the business of wrestling. And yeah, so CM Punk dressed up in a mask and the Violent Gentleman sweater, which he was spotted wearing at that same indie show, just where the fan taking a picture, like without a mask. So he was at this indie show in the first place, and so he got in this ring and hit this GTS. And at first, when I saw the video, I thought it's not just CM Punk. That GTS looks terrible because it was kind of a lame GTS. But then I thought about it, and I was like, CM Punk has not been doing this since 2014. It's been like 5 years since he hasn't been in WWE. So, oh wait, yeah, about 5 years. It's been about 5 years. So, yeah, he probably is rusty with hitting GTSs and stuff. It's been a while, So that made the rounds a lot. He did he returned to wrestling somewhat. I gotta say, I was very adamant on CM Punk never returning to anything related to wrestling, but I read more on it that apparently Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful reported that this is not the first time at all that CM Punk has done something like this. And he's been doing it for years, apparently. And like hiding in like a mask or whatever. So yeah, it's pretty interesting to think about, right? So I don't know what happens from this. I think it's probably just for fun, it's probably not anything serious. But yeah, I think that just about covers it though, with everything wrestling news related. I don't think I'm missing anything, but I think I'm done with the review, and thank you so much everybody for watching. I'll try and I think I'm honestly kind of surprised at how short this review was, because doing it solo, sometimes I take really long doing it solo, but this time was pretty normal, like an hour and a half, I'd say. So thanks everybody for watching. I'll see you all next time. And also, oh no, there is one piece of news I guess I forgot to mention. Funnily enough, so Backlash, the pay-per-view, was supposed to take place after the Saudi Arabia show they're doing in May, I believe. Was it May? Or no, I'm stupid. It was supposed to be in June. I was thinking of Money in the Bank. So they're supposed to do Backlash after the Saudi Arabia show in June. So some person thought, well, hang on. It might not be a good idea to have a show named Backlash right after our Saudi Arabia show. See, they pulled Backlash. They just pulled it. There's no more Backlash this year. No more. So they just pulled it, and I'm like, so they actually admit and acknowledge that doing the Saudi Arabia shows is a bad idea. Despite all the money that they're making and shit, it's actually a bad idea doing the Saudi Arabia shows, huh? Who would have thunk it, right? So they pulled Backlash. They didn't think it'd be a good idea to have that show right after the Saudi Arabia show because it's kind of fucking fitting, right? Show named Backlash after that show, especially after the last one, Crown Jewel. They refused to. They also refused to say where it is. Everybody knows it's Saudi Arabia, but yeah. I again, like with Crown Jewel, I actually watched Greatest Royal Rumble last year, but I did not watch Crown Jewel. I'm not going to watch any of the Saudi Arabia shows. They can stick their Saudi Arabia shows up their ass. I don't care. I completely detest it. I don't buy it. It's dumb. Um, and quite frankly, Crown Jewel. I'm glad I didn't watch it because just reading about it made me blow a gasket. All the booking decisions, having Braun lose and Brock winning the title back, Shane McMahon being best in the world, everything about it, and just I'm not watching that damn show, and I think a lot of people are on my side with that, and yeah, that's one thing I will boycott. I will not. I've thought about boycotting Monday Night Raw before, but I will not. I will absolutely not watch those shows. So yeah, I think that about does it now. I think that's all the news I got. I'm done. My throat's killing me. It's been a good review, I think, and thank you all for watching. I'll see you next week with our Raw and SmackDown review. So thanks for watching. Goodbye.